Hi, welcome to our forest sanctuary, and you can hear the birds and the geese and maybe the dog. So just remember that we're in a nature sanctuary, so we will welcome them. Okay, so good morning or good evening and good afternoon wherever you are in this part in the world, and thank you so much for being with us and spending your Wednesday with us. We deeply appreciate it because we're celebrating both the 11th anniversary of MLAC and my 78th birthday. Now you know. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something that's very, very timely. And the title of this talk is "The Way Out is In." The subtitle is "Living and Loving in the Time of Pandemic." So that's where we are now. Okay. In more than, no, not more than, but almost 2 years, going to 2 years of the pandemic, and so many things have been happening. We've had a lot of anxiety, grief, and all these collective feelings of sadness and losses and all that. How has it been for you? How are you? Okay. We know that the cases of COVID-19 have been decreasing, and therefore businesses are opening up and people are going out like crazy. And you look at the malls, you go to the malls and in the streets, the traffic is back. But then, what do we do now? Do we use the misused and overused phrase, move on? Okay. No, I think we cannot just move on. The effect of the COVID-19, of the pandemic, which has caused us collective grief, collective anxiety, and even trauma, is still with us. They stay with us, and it's important for us to accept that, to deal with it, and to handle it before we can really move forward. But that's not all that's happening. Right now, there is a very big challenge in our country. It's a big one. And you probably know what I'm talking about. It's preoccupying us. Our lives are being affected so much by it. It is the chaotic and toxic politics. And we cannot ignore it. It's permeating our lives, and we must not ignore it. We must be there for it. Okay, so we do not move on. In fact, before we do anything else, we really have to pause again. Pause, go inside ourselves, look inside, and renew ourselves and replenish our drained energies. And we're going to do this together. Okay. Because as I said, these emotional states don't just disappear that we have been feeling during the pandemic. Don't just disappear. We carry them inside us, so we have to handle them. We have to be able to be the one to be on top of that. So I remember Rumi, one of the most famous poets everybody probably knows. He said something that touched me. He said, "I know you're tired. This is the way." Yeah, but what is the way? And then another one he said was, "Yesterday, I was clever. I wanted to change the world. Now I am wise. I'm changing myself." And that's the only way to start. Okay. So this is the time when we must begin to look inside our hearts, our souls first, rather than outside for solutions to problems. No? This is a time to face ourselves, bringing ourselves into the light. Okay. This is a period of reflection and spiritual renewal in our lives. Halifax reminds us, and I think we need to hear this, to be hopeful in bad times is not just foolish and romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of sacrifice, courage, and kindness. And I think we're experiencing both in our country now. And then a very inspiring quote also is from Joan Halifax. And to live now as we think human beings should live, in defiance of all that is bad around us, is in itself a marvelous victory. It's living as a decent human being. No? So the first thing to do is to pause and to be clear. For any challenge, I believe that for any challenge we face or any problem we want to solve, the first thing we need to do is find clarity. What is in front of me that I have to deal with? Is it clear? What's inside me and what's going on? Then you can make a move, okay? So now let us go to the deepest part of ourselves and come to peace first inside, to be calm and to be clear. Okay, Thich Nhat Hanh, of course, my teacher and one of the most influential spiritual leaders of all time, has a mindful exercise about imagining a lake, very still lake on top of a mountain, and the lake is very clear and is very still. Therefore, it reflects exactly how the trees and the sky look, no? Because it's clear and still. And he says, if the water is not clear, it's not still and it's turbulent, it does not reflect exactly what it's supposed to reflect, the trees and all that, because it distorts it. Just like us, if we are clear and calm, we can receive what people are saying, we can receive and see clearly what's happening around us. But if we are murky or we are not calm, our water is turbulent or it keeps moving and is never still, we cannot be clear and we are not calm. Therefore, we are not clear and we cannot receive and perceive things as they are. We will tend to distort things. So think about that. How do we be clear? So let us seek calmness and clarity, first inside ourselves and how we see the world around us. And this is the first step in solving a problem or facing a challenge. At this point, I feel like we could do a very short mindfulness exercise on clarity and calmness. So this is what we will do. First, pay attention to your breathing as usual. Breathing in, breathing out. You don't have to manipulate your breathing, just pay attention to it and it will by itself slow down and calm your body. In, out, in, out. Okay. In a relaxed state of your body where your back is straight and your front is open, then you can receive things now. We will now try to be calm and clear. Okay, so let's do the exercise. Do it with me. I'll give you 3 minutes, and during those 3 minutes, first a bell will ring and you will imagine a lake that's very, very still. Maybe a lake inside you that's very, very still and very, very calm. So When you think of that lake, your body starts to calm down, and you also become more clear. You can see things more clearly, and you will not tend to distort things. Okay, so we'll do it now. Bell will ring, and after 3 minutes, while you're doing your breathing and calming your body and seeing how clear you can be, your energy, we will now start. Okay. Might close your eyes if you wish. Know your back is straight. Your front is open and ready to receive, but you have a calm and stillness inside you. The breathing will help you to be still. And when you imagine a lake, maybe in the evening, it's on top of a mountain, it's very, very clear, and it's very, very still. So you start to be still inside and outside your body posture, and you enjoy the stillness. Just stay there and let your inside and your body be still. It's the way we can be clear in how we perceive things around us and how we receive messages from people and from all other sources around us. So now just enjoy the stillness. Back to your breathing. As you pay attention to your breathing, your body starts to relax. You may hear the birds and all kinds of nature sounds that can even make you more relaxed. You can surround yourself with the sounds that can calm you, your body and your mind. There's the bell. Thank you for joining me. Okay, I hope that relaxed you a bit. You can practice it longer on your own. Okay, so now let me share with you something very personal from our journal. I told people I've been journaling since I was 16 when I was heartbroken. I'm now 78 and I'm still journaling. Not every day, but as a way of making things clear for me, being able to handle them. So in my journal of September 2005, we came here to the farm from a very, very hectic week of talks, clinic, dealing with people, social, whatever, all kinds of hectic things in life that's quite normal. I ran to the Bahay Kubo behind the property, in the back of the property rather, and I just lay still there on the bare bamboo, and this is what I wrote. And when I look back, I keep reading it. In that journal, I said, in the stillness, I am restored. In the stillness, I am centered. In the stillness, I am sacred. In the stillness, I am caressed. In the stillness, I am loved. In the stillness, I love. In the stillness, I am. So that's what I wrote, and I wanted to share that with you. Okay, another thing, so that's one first part. Another part is we must remember that during these chaotic, volatile, unsettling times, what we need to do is to keep our balance. No? We know that balance, or seeking balance and equilibrium, or homeostasis, which is basic biology, is the most basic principle of all life. Our body seeks equilibrium, a system seeks equilibrium, organizations seek equilibrium, family system seeks equilibrium. For example, somebody goes away for a long time, the remaining members have their own system already. They seek their own equilibrium. That's why it's not easy to that person to re-enter, because an equilibrium of the system has been formed already while the person is away. So he has to come in a very big way, no? In a smart way, okay. So I'll do this quickly because I've talked about this before and some of you have heard it already. So what do we balance? We balance between giving and receiving. That's one, no? Of course, we're always told that it's more blessed to give than to receive. While that may be true, we have also to learn how to receive. How to be grateful when somebody gives us something. It might be a material thing, it might be their time, whatever it is. If we are able to receive it graciously and gratefully, we're giving a gift to the giver. If we do not receive the gift of the giver gets disappointed. Maybe you've experienced that also. You want to give something and the person is not able to receive. So for some people, most people, it's easier to give because it empowers you. When you receive, you're in a passive, receptive, more vulnerable state. But when you give, you're more in a powerful state. No? So receiving also requires some deep humility to accept and give the power to the giver. So when you receive, you give the gift to the giver. Okay, so the other one is holding on and letting go. Very important, because at a certain stage of our lives, whether you're a parent or you're whatever you're doing, we need to let go of certain things we're clinging to. And why am I not able to let go? Why am I clinging to this person who doesn't seem to like me or who's abusing me? No? We know, of course, there are reasons for that, but when we are holding on to something and we are not able to let go, we carry a very heavy burden. And what is it that you need to let go of now? Maybe if you start with material things, letting go of our clutter. How many shoes, pairs of shoes, how many clothes, how many bags do we need? The pandemic has taught us that we don't need as much as what we have for most people. So we can clear our clutter, give it away, give it to people who will need it, because we now realize we don't need that much. And what we find is there is space in our environment, in our house, that we did not have before. So it's very important to let go. Not just of the clutter, not just of physical things, but can you let go of a toxic relationship? Can you let go of a friendship that drains you all the time? There's a lot we need to let go of if you think about it. So think about it. What in my life now do I need to let go of? That's up to you, okay? And then we have being with others and being alone, seeking solitude, okay? Again, balance, no? Some people are so sociable, they just go out and relate, or maybe not out, but relate virtually, whatever it is, relate outward, but they have no time for being just by themselves. Solitude is essential for us to balance our lives, our energy, When we're in solitude, we can go inside and replenish our energies. Solitude, the practice of seeking solitude and being in solitude and relishing the solitude is a spiritual practice I think that we all need to have. So there, try to seek solitude, space for yourself without all the other people, etc. in your life, okay? And then working and playing. Of course, we all know that, because we all also know that most of us are imbalanced in favor of work. It's very difficult to play. What do you mean by play? Play to just do something you enjoy without any purpose, without any judgment of whether it's good or bad, but doing something because you enjoy it, excuse me, and not because you're supposed to do it. So it's a freedom to know what you want to do, and do it. You might dance, paint, sing, listen to beautiful music, take a walk in nature, whatever it is that you enjoy is kind of a playing. Children are not only ones who need to play. All of us, whatever age, in fact, my old age, I need to play. So since most of us play only when we have spare time after we finish our work, I don't think that's balancing. I think we should reserve time for play, not just leftover time after work. Reserve, this is my time to play, to dance, to sing, to play the piano, whatever play you enjoy doing. Enjoy doing, that's important, okay. So, one more, caring and being cared for. Very essential for the work we're doing with the team and for the work of most people, parents, teachers, everyone. No? It's important to know and to have the humility to accept that you are also needing to be cared for. Sometimes it's not easy for people to do that. They know they're very caring, and then they burn out. No? Some professions are conducive to burnout, like psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. So it's very important to know that you need to be cared for. You're not just a carer all the time. Please try to balance it, because if you don't take care of yourself, you absolutely cannot sustain taking care of others. Maybe you can do it for a period of time, but you will burn out. So it is a moral obligation for you to take care of yourself. That's first and foremost before you can do whatever you need to do in this world. Okay? So doing and being is the last. Of course, we know that we're always in favor of doing, and we maybe are not even paying attention to just being. Lying down and not doing anything makes us feel guilty. And I've seen this many times. Oh, I have to be doing this, I have to be just 5 minutes on your bed, and oh, wait, I have to do this. No, parang it's not good. Don't feel good about yourself if you're not doing anything. So think about how you can balance doing, and just being. Chill lang, sabi ng mga bata. Okay, so there. You can ask questions later, but I'm going to go to the next thing I want to share with you is the acronym of balance, which I have formed. No, every letter stands for something. So let's start with B. B means be a beholder of beauty. Okay, what does that mean? Very important. Can you allow beauty to touch you? Are you able to marvel at the beauty of nature, at the beauty of somebody's pure heart, at the beauty of a child playing, beauty of a baby crying, beauty of music? I mean, is your heart open to be nurtured and nourished by beauty? Because beauty nurtures, beauty heals. So let's not take it for granted. We allow it to affect us, to uplift us, because beauty uplifts. So that's B. And then A is acceptance. Of course, we've heard it. How do you accept something that's painful or that's sad? Like somebody died yesterday. How do I accepted. A friend of mine died, very close friend. And in the beginning, I was not believing. I was in disbelief, which is like something that human beings do in order to cope with a painful feeling. So how do you accept painful feelings? How do you accept people around you? How do you accept your husband, your wife, your partner? That's very difficult to do. Perhaps one of the most difficult to do is to accept your intimate partner as he is or she is. Let me tell you, it's not easy. It's a long journey. And because also you need to accept who you are. You cannot be who you are not. To be who you are not is a practice that will again burn you out. To pretend to be somebody else can be a draining thing for you. No? So, are you able to accept your partner? Are you able to accept your parent as he is or as they are? Maybe they just were doing what they thought was the best, but it's not easy. But as we grow older and become adults, older adults, I think it's important for us to accept our parents as they are and forgive whatever it is that they have done to us. If we reach that point, we will be at peace, because it is said that whatever you accept fully, when you surrender fully, it will take you into peace. There is peace in sadness if you accept it. So if you surrender and accept, you will get into peace. Not easy, but worth doing something about. Okay? The L is letting go, which already we discussed in the balance. Now let me just ask you, are you able to let go of your expectations of people around you? Your partner, you want him to be what he cannot be. That's very common. You want him to be like this, but he's not like that. And you want him to give what he cannot give. Think about it. So you have to let go of certain unrealistic expectations. Maybe that's one. Okay, and then the other A is authenticity. Magpakatotoo ka. Be who you are. As I said earlier, it's very draining and tiring to pretend to be who you are not. We are in this world only to be who we are and to give us what we have. No? And that is your first and foremost journey. The journey towards the authentic self. It's not easy because we have absorbed many things about who we are when we're children, and we think this is what we are, and it's a journey itself, okay? But it is probably the most basic thing that we can work for, to be true to who we are, okay? And N for me stands for a high quality no, okay? I know we are in our culture, especially in our culture, it's not easy to say no. Somebody asks you something and reactively you say yes when you actually mean no because you did not think about it. So a high quality no is a non-reactive no. When you say no, when people ask you, and your instinct is to say yes, even if you're tired and you don't know when you're going to do it, you'll find time later because you don't want to say no to disappoint the person, to make him feel bad, or you make yourself feel bad because he will not like you anymore, things like that. No? So when you have a high quality no, somebody asks you, you pause it, wait, give me a minute. Even just that is very important, because then you don't become reactive. You can now, that's mindfulness practice, no? So you stop first and assess. Is this something I can do? Or is it something I cannot do and I don't want to do? But I'm just being polite and I'm just being unable to say no. Happened to me very recently. There's a big task in the national level that they were asking me to do. And I knew it was big, and I felt it was my responsibility. So it took me a lot of time before I was able to reply. And guess what? I said yes. After I said yes, a few days after, oh my God, I don't think I can do it. This is too much. When I read the whole thing thoroughly, oh no. But it took me a long time to say yes, and now I'll say no. Oh my God, that's really, I don't know how to do that. But I searched deeply and I said, it's really a no. So I went back to the organizer and I explained in a very, very humble way that I made a mistake. I really cannot do it. And I had my teammate, Bless, explain it also to them because she was the coordinator. And lo and behold, they were just okay with it. You'll be surprised when you are able to say no. People are not angry or anything. They're accepted and say, it's okay, we understand. Wow, okay. So learn to say a high quality no. And then, of course, C, we all know, is care, compassion, caring and compassion. So we don't have to explain that. Compassion, when you feel what the other person is feeling, empathy. And when you have empathy and you act on it, that's compassion. It is said that the interrelatedness of all beings is the basis of compassion. You connect with others, especially during this pandemic. We had so much compassion all around us. In spite of the difficulty, the anxiety, if you look at the other side, there is so much compassion among people, caring for each other, volunteering to do good work because of they want to just give, and they just want to feel good about caring for others, and because inside them they really care for the other person. They can feel the feeling of the other person. If you cannot look at the point of view of the other person, there's something wrong. That's a kind of a personality disorder, okay? I won't mention what it is, but if you cannot even see the point of view of the other person, there's something wrong with you. You have a personality disorder, okay? And of course, E. For me, E stands for enthusiasm, exuberance, enjoyment. No? So, how do you enjoy yourself? How do you have that energy to be enthusiastic about what you're doing, enthusiastic about the world, about your mission? Have that energy that's very, very alive in you, and you know it's very contagious. You talk to a person who's enthusiastic and you feel alive. But you talk to a person and who's so passive and walang enthusiasm, your energies go down. So it's important also to cultivate enthusiasm. Okay, you can ask questions later about balance if you want, but let me go to another thing I want to say. Said here by a very revered, maybe, Joan Halifax again, no? Just because hate and anger are present, it does not mean that the capacity to love and accept are not there. Oh, it's Thich Nhat Hanh, sorry who said this. Love is always deep inside us. Okay? So, if you believe that, maybe it's covered up by all kinds of trauma and all kinds of judgments of people. Maybe the love is buried deep inside you. But we have the capacity to love and accept, even if there's so much hatred and toxic energy around us, okay? So how do we go in, really? We already went in, but let me share with you joyfully a very wonderful experience I had with my 5-year-old Apo, granddaughter. Harana spent 5 days here in the farm for the first time. They're always in the room. So when we were playing, she said, let's write a book. Okay, I said, write a book. Okay, so I was folding the paper, and then she said, what's your book? She said, my book is How is Love. I said, you mean what is love? No, Lola honey, how is love? Oh, okay. Oh, come on, write it. So she wrote in her book, and the drawings, we'll hope to show the drawings. She said, how is love? Love is loving the trees. Love is loving the rainbows. Love is loving the rain. Love is loving the adventures. Love is loving the quiet and the peaceful. Oh my God, the wisdom of a 5-year-old child. And I said, yes, I will remember that. Love is the way. And so, I'll quote Martin Luther King Jr. He said, I've decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. That's what Martin Luther King said. And then I saw this poster. Maybe you have seen it. It says, mas radikal ang magmahal. And I believe that, no? So, there, love is our way. Thank you. At this point, I'd like you to hear my late, dearly departed mom singing her favorite love song entitled Minamahal Kita. Okay, thank you.
Katulad mo'y isang awit ng pagsinta. Minamahal, manalig ka, nasa piling mo lamang ako igawad mo ay pangako ng pagliyak. Giliw, ikaw lamang ang tangi kong mahal. Minamahal, iniibig kita. Minamahal, sinasamba. Manalig ka, nasa piling mo lamang ako liligaya. Bawat ngiti, bawat sulya na igawad mo ay pangako ng pagliyak.